and today I am going to explain you about 3D and 3D basic objects. Okay, so till many days we were working in just 2D. Okay, it means that the workspace I had kept it as drafting and annotation. So now if I am going to work with 3D, I am going to change my workspace over here. Okay, so first here I'll tell you how to set the workspace. Okay, so here what you are going to do is, here you are going to go to the workspace over here. Okay, drop down this workspace, and select the workspace as 3D modeling. Okay, so after setting the 3D workspace over here, you can see the workspace means the work page also will get changed. Okay, so now here first I'll tell you about 3D basic objects. Okay, so here we are having 3D basic objects as box, cylinder, cone, sphere, pyramid, wedge and torus. Okay, so these are all my 3D basic objects. Okay, so now you can see if I am to change my workspace as 3D, I am just able to see the 2D again. You can see just I am able to see the X and Y. So now if I want to see the Z axis, what I am going to do is, I am going to go to the wave cube, or I am going to go to the WCS icon, and here you can see a small hut type icon here. Okay, so just click on this hut icon. You can see now you are able to see the Z axis as well, that is the 3D view. Okay, so now if you want to rotate the screen, here what I am going to do is, I am going to use shift and scroll bar to rotate my screen. Okay, you can see the screen is getting rotated like this. Okay, so now let's take these 3D basic objects. So first one is box. Okay, so shortkey for box is BOX, enter. Okay, so here same like a rectangle, I'll have to again form a rectangle over here. Okay, so first I'll specify the first corner point, or else here I can choose any one method, either cube or either length. Okay, so here what I'll do is I'll select length method, and first here I'll give the length of the rectangle, like for example I'll give it as 5, enter, and next I'll give the width of the rectangle as 3, enter. Okay, later here I'm going to give the height of the rectangle, like for example I'll give it as 4. Okay, so this is how a box will be formed. So just imagine if you are taking a cube over here. Okay, so after you specify the first point, if you are selecting it as cube, so directly here what you are going to do is just you are going to mention just one side. Okay, so like for example I'll mention it as 5, enter. You can see the length, width and the height will be taken same because it is a cube. Okay, so now you can see over here the 3D object what I have created, it's not looking properly solid. Okay, why? Because the visual style which is being set over here is being set as 2D wireframe. Okay, so now if I want to see the proper solid view, what I am going to do is I am going to change my visual style. So you can see here in the view panel, the first control panel is for visual style. Okay, so if you will drop down here you will be getting different styles of visual style over here. Okay, so just I'll show you here. First one is 2D wireframe, next one is conceptual. So you can are able to see some difference in the object. This is hidden, this is realistic. So now you can see you are able to see an object properly, a solid object like this. Okay, same way again here you are having different kinds of visual styles. Okay, but in this we'll be using two major visual styles, that is 2D wireframe and realistic view. Okay, so whenever you are drawing anything you are going to keep the visual style as 2D wireframe, and whenever you are wanting to see the realistic view of it, you can just keep the visual style as realistic. Okay, so next after box, next here we are having is cylinder. Okay, so shortkey for cylinder is CYL, enter. Okay, so here it is asking you to specify the center point, or else like in circle you are having 3 points, 2 points, tangent, radius or elliptical. So you can choose any one method and you can draw the circle. Okay, circle in the sense base of the cylinder. Okay, so here I will specify the center and I will mention the radius or the diameter. So like for example I will mention the radius as 2 and next I'll give the height of the cylinder as 3. Okay, so here you can see, again change the visual style as realistic and see, you're able to see the proper cylinder like this. Okay, so next after cylinder, next here you are having cone. Okay, so short key for cone is CON, enter. Okay, CONE you can type and click on enter. So same way again, to draw the base of the cone, here again you are having methods, that is 3 points, 2 points or tan radius, or else you can mention the center and you can specify the radius of the base. Like for example, I'll give it as again 2, enter, and later I'm going to give the height of the cone, like I'll give it as 4. Okay, again change the visual style as realistic and see, you're able to see a proper cone like this. Okay, so next after cone, next object you're having as sphere. Okay, so short key for sphere is SPH, enter. Okay, same way again I'm going to specify the center and I'm going to give the radius of the sphere, like for example I'll give it as 3. Okay, so you can see you're getting a sphere like this. Okay, so next after sphere, next here you're having pyramid. Okay, so short key for pyramid is PYR, enter. Okay, so next again I am going to specify the center of the pyramid, and again here I am going to mention the radius of the circle. Okay, so whether if you need it inscribed, here what you can do, you can click on inscribe and you can mention. Okay, same like as if we do it in polygon. Okay, so if you need inscribe, then you can click on inscribe and you can do, otherwise you just, I'll give the radius as 2, enter, and later I'll give the height of the pyramid as 2 again. Okay, so this is how you'll be creating a pyramid over here. So next after pyramid, the next one is wedged. Okay, so short key for wedged is WE, enter. So again here I am first going to form a rectangle like this. Okay, so whether using a cube method or a length method, you can draw cube, and from where I have started my start point, from that side you will get the slope height, so you can give the height as much as required for the wedge. So the last 3D basic object is a torus. Okay, so short key for torus is TOR, enter. So again here I am going to draw a circle, so only it is asking you to specify whether you need it as 3 points, 2 points or TTR, otherwise I just specify the center, I'll give the radius as again 3, enter, and the inner radius I'll give it as 0.5. Okay, inner radius in the sense, okay, just make this as 5 frame and see, this is my inner radius in the sense thickness of the pipe. Okay, so these were all about 3D basic objects. Thank you. To subscribe, you can like the video.